Hey, come catch this wave with the Fixx squad. The Fixx is in. I'm Mr. Soul, I'm tuning in. What you doing?
Stand up. James left, but the king still reigns here. No tears, no love lost, no rain here. Delivers, I promise, Santa reindeer. Love for the city still resides here. Fix for your ailment, faith that resides outside the lines. Detox your mind, cause it matters. Art outside the box, we paste better. The Fixx is in, and we rock a channel. We rock with them for what's deep within. Expose those who talk but don't live. Expose those who talk but don't live. Take offense. Judge by the fruit from the tree, but if the fruit tastes.
Welcome back, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into the Fixx, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. And y'all know what time it is. It's time for our spiritual detox. And when I tell y'all, yeah, we got that exclusive. I know y'all been waiting. Listen, these projects he didn't drop. He's a trailblazer. So listen, I got to go over some of the creds just to give people some perspective. Grammy Award-winning, Stellar Award-winning, Dove Award-winning, multi-platinum selling singer, songwriter, performer, musician. Hey, he probably act too as well. He probably wrote a book. He probably did everything that you wanted to do. He is doing it. He's living out his best life, and he's doing it God's way. But he's doing it also on the R&B way too as well. So I'm definitely excited to welcome in one of the legends in our space right now, Dante Bowe. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you, bro. How you doing?
We doing good, man. Me and Dice are excited just to have you on. And we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get right to it, Dice. Let's get to it. So Dante, first, walk us through a little bit of your faith journey, because I think you have a very unique faith story in itself. And I think a lot of the listeners and viewers are just now starting to see it. So walk us through your faith story from your perspective on how you developed your relationship with Christ and your music street.
I mean, yeah, I started my relationship with Christ. I pretty much had it all my life, but I think around 16, I started taking it serious, and I started creating Christian music at that time. Before that, I was doing all R&B, and I pretty much started doing only Christian music. And long story short, the fruit followed my life, and I started, performing different places all over the world, and the Stellars and the Doves, all that stuff came as a result of me staying faithful to it.
You throwing this on me? Don't throw it back to me, Focus, because my sisters was like, is it baby oil or shea butter in the wine video? I just want to know. I told them, I said he's coming on the show, and they had questions. They was like, are you serious? He about to be on there, girl? I was like, honey, I just want you to know what's your question. So that, I mean, in all, is it baby oil or shea butter? Like, which one is the glow coming from? I said, oh.
I mean, it was definitely baby oil.
Let's go. Listen, I had a question though. This project is phenomenal, and the only one that I listened to is your self-entitled project, right? And it pushes boundaries. It's pushing in a way that's not normal. Why did you feel the need to do that? Was it intentional, or was this just how everything came about?
I've always been a lover of music and all things music. So I think the new album, I wasn't trying to push boundaries. I think I just naturally do that. And so I was trying to create something that I felt like people hadn't heard, but also just trying to elevate them and like take them further as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's other artists that do it in their way. But it's just as far as like, me and my brand, I wanted to just take them further. I hate creating the same thing I already created, before creating it again. So I wanted to create something brand new and fresh. And I think we did that with the new album for sure. And I hope people like it for real. I made it for people for sure.
Why do two at the same time, Dante? Because I agree. I have listened to both of them, the self-entitled and the Light project. Why do them at the same time? Because I think, unfortunately, some of our church folks don't understand. To your point, I'm glad you brought up, you started off doing R&B, so this is not like this is something new that you have been doing. They have seen you in the lights of doing the gospel probably over the last, I would say, 6-7 years solid with Maverick City and then also solo. Why do both projects at once? Why release both projects at once?
I did both of the projects, at the same time, around the same time, because I felt as though it's the season. I feel like it's summertime, and I don't like to limit myself and think, oh, I released this, so I can't release that, and I gotta wait 6 months, and then I gotta wait 6 months for the next project, and next, it just takes a long time. So I wanted to put out these two projects because they're totally different, drastically different. And a lot of the people that may not like R&B, they'll like the Light project, and then maybe people that love R&B may not love the Light project. So I wanted to make sure that I put out something for everybody, and didn't leave anyone else, didn't leave anyone out, if that makes sense.
Listen, I sat with every song and made notes, and I'm like, this is all world. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very well rounded. I
Thank
watched a
you.
couple of you're welcome. I watched a couple of your interviews. You talked about anxiety, which is hard for me to believe that you possess any yeah, you did. And you had an interview and you made a comment about a little bit of anxiety. How do you deal with it? Because it doesn't even seem like the way your music comes across. You would never know. You would never know that. But yeah, like how do you deal with that? How do you push through that?
Honestly, I don't know what I do different things at different times. When it hits you, when anxiety hits you, you kind of panic. And I think sometimes it's just me laying on the couch and breathing, or just sitting wherever I am and just drinking water and thinking positive thoughts. Recently I just did a little breathing technique with my assistant. Sometimes I'll pray about it, have my team pray for me. It just really depends on where I am and what's more convenient at the time. But I do get anxiety just because of the nature of my job, and it's a it's a it's a job that is just, is a lot of exposure. You're just exposed to the world, and it can be overwhelming at some points. So I just do it at different ways at different times. I'm still trying to figure out what gets it done faster. I think I need to pay more attention to it when it happens.
No, I appreciated you even touching on it, because I was like, I think some people don't equate like greatness with anything like that. You know what I mean? So I was happy. I was happy that you were like, you made a little short comment, and I was like, people need to know, like, every day ain't easy. Every day ain't easy. Okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah, yeah. No, no. I mean, anything worth having is there's gonna be some fight. So
That is good, and thanks for sharing that. So do you do any therapy at all? Because we talk about mental health all the time. So I know you brought up anxiety, but are there things you do to keep your mental health in state? Therapy, counseling, or anything?
honestly, I've done therapy before, but what's crazy about it is my assistant just signed me up for my first therapy session here in Dallas. But no, like, no, I don't do therapy normally, and not that I shouldn't. I just think God has really been there and graced me to not um, completely feel alone. I feel like I have people that I talk to, and advisors and spiritual leaders that kind of like help me and guide me in the right direction when I feel like I'm lost. And so I think it is a new thing that's about to happen. I'm about to definitely be in therapy and just, get more help. But I would advise everyone to kind of like at least try it. I don't know if it's for everyone. I hear that it's not for everyone, but I think a lot of people can benefit from it for sure.
Listen, your name is in all of the conversations. Like Focus has said earlier, from gospel to R&B. I mean, we ain't even got to get on to the 2023 BMI Songwriter of the Year. I mean, what you do, it is. I don't even know how you have time to do it, first of all, but with all the controversy, because I don't want to skip past this. You always bring up your family and friends help you. What are some of the key things they've given you that have helped you to like really, maintain who you are and just to stay focused and keep going?
I would say laughter, and when the world's making a big deal about something that maybe a video I put out, or maybe they don't like what I wore at Fashion Week. It may look like I'm, conceited or whatever, or maybe it's really something that, I'm going through it. At the time it was with the Maverick group, and they just don't make a big deal out of stuff. And I really find that peaceful, that I can be around my friends and family, and they don't make a big deal out of, the things that I go through as an artist. And they look at me as just, my nickname is Donnie. So they look at me as like Donnie, and they treat me the same. And a lot of times, I get to talk to them in private and in ways that I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone else, and or any other people. And so those are some of the things that they contribute to my life. But like laughter, just not taking life too serious, because everything around me is so serious. Having a label, all the money that goes into it, all the resources. I have a full staff and all these different things. So it's good to like be around my friends and family, and we joking about stuff, and just having a regular time,
Can you talk about the balance within your music, Dante? I think that's something that a lot of people want to hear, just the balance in you being able to do the gospel music, doing the R&B music. We know sometimes R&B music, and just talk about your sound and how you create your R&B music, because we know some of it is over-sexualized. It pushes, not keeping yourself, and sometimes that contradicts with what we believe spiritually for the singles who follow you and listen to you. So speak a little bit to that, your creative process, and then the balance of how you create your R&B music compared to your gospel music, and how that looks for people that, watch you and, look up to you and listen to all of your music.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good question. I think no matter what I create, it's going to be the life I live or the life I'm inspiring to live. I'm not trying to create something that seems backwards or backwards thinking or negative or dark in any way. I want people, when people hear my music, to be inspired to move forward, or to be inspired to be honest about where they are. And so with the R&B and the Christian music, it's all very honest to the life I live. And a lot of it is not necessarily the life I live, it's the life I want to live. It's where I want to go, where I see myself going. And so I think like I have a song on there, Not Hopeless. I have a song, Trouble. All these different songs are more so forward thinking. And then I have Easy on Me, just about how, that's a relationship with God. And Wind Me Up, that's about my romance life, and it's very present, And so I want to create music that is honest and forward thinking, and not backwards and talking about, I'm not even really focused on whether you keep yourself or not. I'm just making music that is true to me. And I hope that, when you hear my music, it makes you want to do whatever's right in your life. I don't want you to go down a bad path by listening to something I said or did,
I don't think anybody's doing that, bro. Listen,
I don't think
I
so
don't think so.
either. I hope
I
not.
mean, nah. From Glory to God being very George Michael, In Your Hands is Sexy Island, Need Somebody, the relationships. I like how you brought up Not Hopeless, the younger version of you. Black Panther, that Michael Jackson. Listen, you, for me, like I said, it's, bro, come on now, Your Majesty, like that. This is a freedom album for
I
me.
appreciate you.
And I had
you.
no, for real. I had a question, because you went from press play to just your name. So I was like, what was the importance of that? Because that was a huge decision. I know you were, trying to let us know that you had something coming out. I appreciate that. But you kind of switched it up there. Like, what was the importance of putting your name on this particular project?
When I started working on the project, I wanted to name it Press Play. And I'm very hands-on with my album, like from each track, the order, the name, the cover of it all. So we were on one of our last meetings with my A&R, Chris Estes, and it was still named Press Play at the time. And after listening to the entire album, I'm like, it's kind of hard to name it after one thing. I want whatever I decide to name it, I want it to reflect the entire project. Whatever we name it, I want it to speak for the entire project. And so after listening to it, and it has gospel, it has piano, it has R&B, and all these genres, and I wanted to reggae, and I wanted to naming something that reflects the entire project. And I think the name Dante Bowe, and I always wanted a self-titled album, but I didn't find it necessary until now. And it's just an album about me, you know, whatever you want to kind of know about me, even like with the track Fire, whatever you want to know about me is probably on that project right now. And so that's why I ended up naming it after myself.
What's that one thing you give to an inspiring artist who's looking to do, you know, what you do? You know, you got the record label, you do everything in music. What advice would you give them in getting into this game?
That's a good question. I would just tell them to, first of all, stay close to God, because you want to know what, you know, He thinks of you and your future. Because a lot of people are going to tell you, you know, what to do and how not to do it. And one person told me one time, if you come into this with no vision, they'll give you a vision. And so I think coming into it with vision from God, so that way you're not just thrown to and fro. And a lot of people might look at my career and just my brand in and of itself and think I've been thrown to and fro just because I've tried different things. I've been looked at as the bad boy or whatever the case may be, but it really is what God is telling me to do, and it bears a lot of fruit. So I kind of have to stick to what I'm doing and not just try to do what everyone else is doing. So I just encourage them to, you know, have vision from God and stick to it. Like whatever the word is, whatever He told you. I know that God told me that I'll reach the nations with my gift, and so I'm, you know, times I want to quit and give up, I lean on that word. So, I mean, come into it with a vision and with the word, and you'll be fine. Just stick to it.
This is insane. No, yeah, you're reaching everybody. That's why I said, like, it's all world to me, and it's rare. I mean, you turn into a bad boy, which is a good thing. But I wanted to know, what did you have to walk away from this last season concerning
you? Yeah, you look. He dropped the mic. He dropped the mic on that one too.
What I have to walk away from this last season, pretty much everything. I started over, you know, brand new team. I hadn't toured this year, which is rare. I'm usually on 3 or 4 tours. A lot of friendships. I wouldn't say friendships. I kind of got the same friends, but relationships that you make, you know, along the way. And even a genre in and of itself, you know, even though I still do gospel and Christian music, and they award me because it's necessary, but I am not like in the in crowd, I guess. And so I've had to walk away from so much that I knew before. And I think it's a good thing, because I find it when you unlearn, there's so much more room left to have newness, like new revelation, new ideas, new innovation. And so at the time, it feels like you're losing a lot, but sometimes you got to lose a lot to make more room in your mind and in your heart. You know, I was cluttered. You know, I had a lot of stuff happening at one time. And even though now I work very hard, I have a very strong team. And so it doesn't feel like I'm putting in as much work as I really am, you know? And so I think I've walked away from just the old me in general. I really do. I'm like when you said it's a freedom album, I'm free. Like I'm free from, then the biggest thing I'm free from is men, like man's opinion. You know, it's like I'm gonna do what God tells me to do.
Yeah, no, it comes across like that. That's why I was like, man, this is awesome. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful project. All everything you do is awesome. Oh, hide me. Whose idea was it to Santana that? Whose idea was it to Santana it out like that? I was like, whose idea was it?
It was my idea. I wanted a long outro, you know. I really wanted it to be long because I imagine it being played in the clubs too. I wanted it to have just a lot of musicality into it, and I wanted people to feel comfortable dancing, you know, no matter what I was saying. But yeah, that was my idea. But shout out to John because he produced it.
John?
John Webb, he produced it. Yeah.
Oh, straight fire. Go, John. Yeah. Listen, Dante, we appreciate you rocking with us, man. Tell the people how they connect with you, follow you, and please introduce your track, Hide Me.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Dante Bowe. Everything is Dante Bowe, even my website, dantebowe.com. And here's my brand new song, R&B. It's called Wind Me Up. Hope you like it.
Keep it locked. You're tuned into The Fixx.
And The Fixx is in.